What's going on, guys? Still here. And today we have another Devblog. It's the VFM 5, or Mark 5, I believe is what it's supposed to be. It's going to be a rank 6 British light tank that I assume is non-premium, actually. I assume it's non-premium, to add to the British light tank line, which is basically just a warrior and a Roycat. I know this tank well from Armored Warfare, which it was actually a premium in Armored Warfare. And it's got all these weird composite slopes and a 105 gun, so it's an L7. I assume that it will fire dart rounds, because I believe that this thing is actually quite a modern tank. It won't be firing no Joe Schmo, just normal Sabo rounds, so it should be firing a dart round. That round, I don't know what it is. Might say it in the Devblog here somewhere. So yesterday we had the Anti-Char, the Lorraine 37L, and today we have the VFM. So one low tier thing, one high tier thing. We'll have to see what else is coming, because according to Smin, this is going to be one of the biggest patches in War Thunder's history, although he did put a disclaimer saying that it could not be due to technical reasons, probably, or design choices, who knows. But it is going to be a pretty big patch, apparently. So what is this vehicle, pretty much? Just a light tank. It's fast. It's got a good gun. I would assume a good rate of fire. They say its pros are the 105 L7, good mobility, and its cons is that it's lightly armored. So I assume it's going to suffer from hull break, although its sloping should allow it to bounce shots that are at odd angles. Its turret might also bounce something against IFVs. We'll have to wait and see. I actually don't know the true armor values of this thing, because everything in Armored Warfare is pretty much fake, so I can't really go off of much of that other than that it's a fast British light tank. So it's cool to see that Britain is getting something else. The Roycat 105, which is the premium, is pretty sufficient, and the entry Roycat 1D, which has the 76mm, is also pretty decent from what I've heard. This will most likely go after that, actually, because I believe it goes... Actually, it might not be, because the Warrior is in a different line, I believe, behind the Conqueror and right before the Vickers Mark 7. So this might actually go after the Warrior, because they might do something weird with the British, where they put more Vickers type stuff in the Vickers line. I don't know if this will go after the Roycat, so yeah. Again, they don't state it. But let's read it a little bit. Let's see. In War Thunder, the VFM 5 will be a new addition to top ranks of British Ground Tree, which will soon further expand its roster of highly mobile light vehicles. Unlike some more recent additions, the VFM gives British tanks access not to a wheeled vehicle, but to a proper traditional light tank instead. So yeah, Britain doesn't really have anything light tankish. You can classify the Warrior as a light tank, but it's just an IFV. Let's see. The VFM-5 is primarily armed with a modified version of the 105L7, a weapon which should be familiar, blah blah blah, featuring no noteworthy differences from the standard version of the weapon. The VFM-5's cannon fires the usual set of standard NATO ammunition, including a number of sub-caliber and chemical rounds, so it should be able to fire darts, coax 7.62, and an M250 on the roof, which is nice, so you get a 50 cal in order to deal with light AA like Tungushkas and stuff. It's actually really cool. I think it's a really cool light tank. So, if Britain's getting the VFM, I wonder if America is going to get the Stingray, because they're very similar tanks. As a matter of fact, they may have actually been in the same design program, I think. So it might be quite possible that they're going to give America a Stingray this update as well. I don't know. That's obviously just conjecture, or predictions, I should say, not conjecture. But that's just a prediction. There's no information, no leak that I know of that would indicate that, but we'll see. On the other hand, being lightly armored and thanks to its mostly aluminum construction, the VFM-5 only has a combat weight just short of 20 tons. 560 horsepower, 44.7 miles per hour, 72 kilometers on road. Excellent power to weight of 28.3 horsepower per ton. So yeah, it's just going to be a wheelie boy. Or not a wheelie boy. A speedy boy. It's also going to kick like a mule too. Look at that. Oh my god, this thing is going to be a meme to see. And depending on the ammunition, it might actually be a perfectly viable tank all the way up. Experimental CCVL. Yeah, so... because they were based off of the same project. So yeah, we might actually get a Stingray for America as well. That would probably go after the HSTVL, which would be pretty cool. I'd like to see America's light tank line get fleshed out. British tech tree always needs some love. The Challengers just simply aren't enough in the current meta, and vehicles like the VFM are going to improve that, so we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this Devblog. Just remember to click that notification bell so you get notified of more Devblogs, dev server content, and all that good stuff. And as always, I'm Steel Wolf, and I'll see y'all next time.